Hi, this is Stefan for the Infinite Tools. Today I have the honor to show you the Infinite Texture plugin, which is a plugin that gives you access to commercially available images and image assets. These are made in a specially made studio, specially made to create these textures, and it took over 5 years to create all these assets. Most of it is made with a camera, so it's real photos. A small portion is CGI graphics like this one here or this one. And it's all saved on server, so you don't have to care about backups because it's always available as long as you have internet access. So how to find these images that you like or the assets that you like? In order to do this, we found a very clever solution. We have this image grid here with one big image in the middle. And you can select whatever you want, and it will put this one in the middle. So if I pick this light swirl here, it will put it in the middle. And the other ones are random. But you can actually adjust the randomness. So if I bring down the randomness to, let's say, in the middle, I've got more light swirls. I've got colorful light swirls. I've got blurry light swirls. I've got something that is a blue mess and other stuff that's kind of similar to the one that I've selected in the middle. If I bring down the randomness even more, I get more of these light swirls with this twisted here. And so if I select another one, randomness is down to 0, so I got a few other ones that are similar to this one. If I want more variation in my selection, I can bring up the randomness again. And so this is the way how you select your texture here. How this works? With all these over 70,000 images, we've used AI to visually sort these images. So there is a visual distance between each texture. And the one you choose has a visual distance to the other ones. And if I bring down the randomness, it selects images that are closer to the one in the middle or even very close to the one in the middle in a visual aspect. So visual aspect means it's based on color, based on whatever is in the image or the shape of whatever I've selected. So these are the three factors that affect the visual distance. So how can we work with this? Well, we just press the plus button and it will bring this texture. It will download this texture and apply it into my image here. These textures are made with 5000 by 4000 pixel. So these are really high quality, high resolution images. And it's on pure black, so it's really easy to mix with your background. So let's just create a solid color layer here and make it like a dark purple. So as you can see, this will mix perfectly because it's set up in layer blend mode screen. Speaking about the layer blend modes, each of these assets have their own layer blend mode it's set up, and it will automatically apply to the document. And so you actually don't have to care about this, but you can change it later if you want to. Some of these textures, like the milk splashes here, they don't have the layer blend mode because it does not make sense to mix milk with the background. So the way we did this was we've created a blend if to mix these textures. So the milk is actually solid, but it's still cut out. Very clever. Let's talk about the functions here in the plugin. So I've got this, let's use this one so you can see it better. So we've got the plus. The plus will actually download and apply the selected texture in the middle in your artwork. The next one will replace the selected layer or the texture on the selected layer with the one in the middle. Let's just do this. So now we have this milk splash, and if I click the replace button, it will replace the texture with this one. It's a very dark one, so I can actually not see it here. Then I can reshuffle the whole grid besides the one in the middle. So this is especially if you are in a closer range here or in a lower randomness setting. You might not find what you're looking for, so you can just reshuffle and you see other varieties of what you've selected. And then last but not least, we have the heart button, and the heart button sets this one as a favorite. Let's just click it. So I've got this water splash here, splash, and I can select the folder, or actually I have to select the folder. It goes into the liquid folder. And if I open my favorites here on the left, you can see I've got the water splash that I've just saved. If I click it, for example, the ink one, that's something that I've saved earlier, then it will bring this ink texture into the middle, and I can take it from there and find variations to this one. And this is actually very inspiring, as it prevents you from using the same texture, the same assets over and over, because this way you can just use a different one, or you can even mix textures that are similar to each other. Is very powerful. Speaking about the favorites, obviously you can rename the folders. You can also rename the textures by using that pencil here. Then we have the themes. This is preset favorites that you cannot edit, but these are giving you a very nice variety of what you can expect from this plugin. So we have, for example, this searchlight here, or looking into the light, or when the garage opens, something like a door slit or radiator light is really, really cool. So a lot of things that you can actually find in the folder light. There is also particles, where you have dust, sand, and all that kind of stuff, and so on. Liquids, elements, backdrops. The backdrops are actually pretty cool. So we have this rusty wall here. This is a really, really nice texture. And I will actually continue with this texture because it is really awesome. So you can see this is really a rusty wall with these steel plates here that we've built in the studio and applied rust to it. As I said, this was a studio made for these textures, so a lot of work went into the creation of these textures. I will show you the 5 options here. These are really, really helpful. The first one is the fill frame option. So if I apply this texture again, it will actually fill the frame. I've got the my image here is in portrait mode, so it will be resized compared to this one. It will be resized so it fills the frame. However, you might want to have the maximum resolution. So this one, the second one, will rotate the texture if needed. So if I apply it, it will fill the frame, but it will rotate it, so you will see more of this texture. Compared to this one, it's just resized, and this one is resized and rotated. All the textures are in landscape orientation, so this is becomes very handy. Then we have the third option. This will apply automatically a mask to the applied texture. We'll create just a white mask, and then you can brush on it if you don't want it in that area, for example. Very handy. And I've talked about the layer blend mode earlier. You can also switch this off. So in this case, it will just ignore the layer blend mode setting, and it will just apply the texture in layer blend mode normal. And I've also talked about the blend if for the milk, for example. If I apply this milk splash here, it will have this blend if here applied, but I can also ignore this one. And now if I apply this texture, it will just ignore this blend if. So you have, in this case, you have just the rotated maximum resolution texture applied with a mask, and it will fill the frame. It will ignore the layer blend mode. It will ignore the blend if, and it will be set up with a mask here. Very exciting. Speaking about exciting, and so now I will turn back on the color background here and go to this one, and I will delete this layer mask. And we're talking about these two functions here. With this one, you can change this layer blend mode into a mask. So now I've got this mask here. And this is also very cool because let's see an example. For example, the hand-painted background here. This is cool. Let's just apply this. It's a very fun example. And I delete the layer mask here, and I create my own blend if. So let's just use it a little bit like this. So now I have a blend if based on this texture. And what I can use this for is to create a mask based on this texture. And obviously I can use that mask for something else. For example, like this. Let's just switch this all off. Add this texture. So now I've got this texture here, and put it on into normal. And now I can apply this mask to this image. This is crazy. Now I've got, based on this texture, I've got a mask on another texture. So it is very creative. You can do a lot of creative stuff with this plugin, and obviously it is a very inspirational process to work with this function. So it looks so simple, but it's really powerful actually. And the last function is this one. This brings the selected layer back into this image grid. So what have we selected? This one here, for example, selected in the layer mask, in the layer list, and then I get this back here in my image grid. So I can actually look for similar ones, maybe replace this one, or I don't know, find another one that is kind of fitting for this. So this is the Infinite Texture plugin. I could go on for hours and show you all these themes and all these textures. Actually, I could not show all of them, but I could show a very wide variety of textures. And I think you get the idea. If we just keep clicking on it, it will getting better and better, because the variety and the amount of textures here is insane. We will come up with some examples on how to work with this, and so make sure to join the newsletter and obviously the YouTube channel, so you can see these tutorials, the upcoming tutorials. And if you have any questions, we're always here via email and support. And if you have any input, we also appreciate input for these plugins. And I hope you have a good day. This was Stefan for the Infinite Tools.